Ladies and gentlemen, today on You Can Do This, it's a we can do this together. We are gonna conduct a little bit of an experiment that I actually don't know how it's gonna turn out. Speed dry aging steak, be able to mimic the flavor of dry aging in a minimal amount of time. Now, I've tried the Koji method, and to me, the steak doesn't taste good. The Koji introduces this sweetness to the steak that I just am turned off by, and the sear at the end of it turns out to be much more uneven. But there are some people that I really, really trust who say fish sauce does a great job in doing this, and there's two methods that we're gonna try. And then we also have just an umami bomb, where we mix a bunch of ingredients together to really boost the umami. Now, will any of these take the place of a 28 to 40 day dry aged steak? I don't know. That's what we're gonna try together today. Dry aging meat, you basically do it in a temperature controlled, humidity controlled, wind controlled environment. And what that does is it actually sits the meat and it has all the moisture taken out of it, which concentrates the beef flavor. It gives this nice little funk and flavor to it that really is kind of unmatched. It's a day and night difference from dry aged to fresh steak. It takes a lot of tender love and care for at least a month to get a steak to taste that way. We're basically creating an enzyme-rich environment, which we're gonna try to mimic with this fish sauce. There are also other enzymes added to the fish sauce process with descaling, stuff like that, that really is gonna kind of, with the saltiness of it, gonna create an environment that hopefully will mimic those same sort of enzymes that happen in dry aging. Still skeptical, but I am always willing to be surprised. The first method that I read about is you take 3 grams of fish sauce to every 100 grams of dry aged steak. And all you're gonna do is you're just gonna brush it on. Now there's two methods. First method, put it in the fridge, bagged up for 3 days. Second method, same first part, remove that, or wrap it in cheesecloth and let it sit in the fridge for an additional 3 days. So there's a 3-day and a 6-day. The third one, that still has fish sauce involved, is what I call the umami bomb. It's everything that's super umami rich, and that is supposed to happen just in an overnight. So I'm taking this steak and I'm gonna seal it in a bag to get all the air out by water displacement. I'm just gonna submerge the bag, and there you go. And we're gonna put this in the fridge for 3 days. So come back in 3 days, check in, and we'll finish the video. Psych, I have one done, but you already knew that. So 3 days done, we're gonna take it out. I mean, not much, not smelling much of a difference, but we'll try it anyway. It seems more tender. In the dry aging process, it actually tenderizes the meat, so this actually does feel a little tender. Shit, now I'm a little less skeptical. Oh, modernist cuisine, you could be right again. Steak goes in for another 3 days. The umami bomb. I don't think you're gonna get textual differences because this one's only overnight and there's only so much an enzyme can do in a single overnight period. I doubt that this will do anything, but it could just make a great tasting steak. So in my blender, Worcestershire, soy sauce, blue cheese, fish sauce. It's amazing how terrible fish sauce smells, but tastes so good. With my super expensive kitchen tool, a plastic spoon, anchovy paste, a couple roasted garlic cloves. I mean, that smells really great. So that's what I'm saying. Oh, you don't want me to talk over the blender? You can't hear it? Is it battling? Is it battling? Oh my God. It's aggressive. I know some of you salt and pepper purists right now are just reeling in your seats. And to be honest, I don't blame you. I'm not a fan of this method, but I am more than willing to be proved wrong. So let's get it out of here. We have everything going. I have a control steak that we're gonna cook all these things together. 2 pans. I don't want to hear it about the cast iron, okay? This is what we got right now. So here's our overnight. It's calmed down a lot. It smells like a person who marinades their steak in like lots of garlic powder and Worcestershire. So we have our 6-day coming out of the cheesecloth. I mean, that funk, you can't smell the fish sauce anymore. It's very tender. And here is our 3-day, which weirdly enough, seems the most tender out of all three. It's the one that has the most give. I am gonna commit a cardinal sin here, is I am gonna cook these steaks unseasoned because I just only wanna taste the beef. I don't wanna boost anything with the salt. I don't want to control another taste with pepper. I only wanna taste the beef. I have the 3-day. I got the 6-day. Over here I got the 0-day. And we're gonna cook these 3 up first, and then we're also gonna cook our overnight guy. Cooking steak in a white shirt. Cooking steak in a white shirt. So we got our steaks laid out. Like I said, I undercooked these. They are rare as rare can be because I actually do want to taste the gradient of the stuff that's a little more cooked on the outside to near dead raw in the center. So here's our 0-day. This is the outer cab part. It's a little, I'm gonna cook a little bit more of the interior. I mean, that's a delicious steak. Well, let's try this 3-day here and see if we got, that is, I'm gonna say it, f***ing interesting. You have this one where you're like, oh my God, that's dry-aged steak, that tastes amazing. Then it kind of does this little thing on the back end where it's like, maybe I'm not dry-aged steak, maybe I'm something different. Then it kind of comes back to like, oh yeah, I'm dry-aged steak. All of it, that whole wave is funk. I don't know if I can say much for the tenderness of it, but it definitely tastes a little bit more like a, God damn it! It tastes more like a, it does. Okay, 6-day. Definitely get that funk. I think what happened is the air drying in the cheesecloth kind of let that fish sauce just set and dry in there and kind of get a crackly outside. So what I don't think it's actually doing this steak any favors, doing the 3-day fish sauce and then the 3-day cheesecloth. Now, our overnight. This is the umami bomb. No. No. Absolutely not. I don't even, no. It tastes like A1 steak sauce. As far as the 3-day and the 6-day, it is way better than Koji. When I read about this one kind of made a little bit more sense with the fish sauce and the funk and then the enzymes that are present not only due to the fish itself, but due to what is added to it during the process of making fish sauce. As far as tenderness goes, there's not really a difference. I feel like I learned something today from the Modernist Cuisine guys. 3-day is the winner here. But I mean, it won't replace dry-aged steak. If you could tell I'm stumbling on my words right now because like I'm kind of just, I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna use this at home. When I can't afford the dry-aged steak, that's the one. If you love disrupting time-honored tradition, click here. We blow this up, just like so. And before